A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John chapter 1 verses 45 to 51. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. Philip went and found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote of in the law, the one preached by the prophets. It's Jesus, Joseph's son, the one from Nazareth." Nathanael said, "Nazareth? You have got to be kidding." But Philip said, "Come, see for yourself." When Jesus saw him coming, he said, "There is a real Israelite, not a false bone in his body." Nathanael said, "Where did you get that idea? You don't know me." Jesus answered, "One day, long before Philip called you here, I saw you under the fig tree." Nathanael exclaimed, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God, the King of Israel." Jesus said, "You have become a believer simply because I say, I saw you one day sitting under the fig tree? You haven't seen anything yet. Before this is over, you are going to see heaven open and God's angels ascending to the Son of Man and descending again." The Gospel of the Lord. Reflections on the Gospel according to St. John chapter 1 verses 45 to 51. We have only a little information about Bartholomew, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus. The church has been identifying him with Nathanael for centuries, although without absolute certainties. The Gospel of John says that Nathanael came from Cana in Galilee. As had happened with Andrew and Simon, Philip wished to share his enthusiasm for Jesus with his friend Nathanael. Philip made use of his knowledge of the scriptures to describe Jesus to his friend and says, "He has found the one whom Moses wrote about in the law, as had the prophets." And he invites Nathanael to come and see. Philip's invitation echoes the invitation made by Jesus to Andrew and his companion. Today, the whole gospel is making the same invitation to us. But this seeing is possible with the inner eye, the eyes of faith, rather than the physical eye. When John the Baptist pointed out Jesus as the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, Andrew and his companion responded and went after Jesus to find out more about him. And Jesus gave them an invitation, "Come and see." Andrew could not hold his joy of the encounter for himself and went in search of his brother Simon Peter. The story of Nathanael is something similar. Philip, who came across Jesus, wanted to share his joy with his friend and brings Nathanael to Jesus. Nathanael had his own prejudices about the one who was coming from Nazareth. John the Evangelist, in the early part of his Gospel, narrated these vocation stories to convey the missionary role of everyone who encountered Christ. John reminds his community of their responsibility to make known to others this Jesus of Nazareth, whom they have encountered, and to bring them to Jesus. All the apostles did exactly the same after their life experience with Jesus. According to the traditions, Bartholomew preached the gospel in Armenia and Persia, and like most of the apostles, was martyred for his faith. This is the message of this apostle as we remember his martyrdom today. The call to talk about Jesus of Nazareth and to bring people to Jesus. Not everyone would appreciate it, And that was the reason for the persecution and death of so many holy martyrs of the church. Apostle Bartholomew, pray for the persecuted Christians around the world.